we found out we were pregnant with our second child, and we were ecstatic, and we had already had a little boy, and about 17 weeks into that pregnancy, we went in for a routine ultrasound. Basically just wanted to know whether we were having a boy or girl. That was what was on our heart that day. About 2 minutes into it, the nurse said the words I think I'll never forget. She said, "This is not good," and she stood up and she left the room.
He sat us down at a table, and so he sketched out for us 3 distinct scenarios of what we were facing with this baby. 2 of those scenarios were certain death. As he was going through that, it was pretty obvious to us why he was telling us that. And so kind of stopped him a little bit and asked him, I said, "Doctor, are you telling us this because you're suggesting that we abort this child?" And I said, "That's just not going to be an option for us. You know, God has given us this baby, and we were going to walk that road trusting Him."
Just the insinuation of aborting this baby, and my heart broke because that child had no voice, and we were that child's voice. I knew at that moment that whatever happened, that God was faithful and He was in control. I remember the words "mangled limbs," and I remember the words "he may never run or play." But at that moment, God spoke His word of truth into my heart. And He gave me Ephesians 3:20, which says, "Now unto Him who is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to His power that is at work within us." And I claimed that scripture, and I claimed that scripture over Caleb's life. Even though I was fearful and even though I was scared, I had the presence of my Father with me. The entire pregnancy was, on bed rest, and it was a journey. It wasn't easy, but we got through it, and he was born about 6 weeks early.
The faithfulness that God showed to us is something that we can't even fathom in terms of going back to that moment when we were sitting at the doctor's office and the doctor had presented all these what-if scenarios. And now we have a 10-year-old boy here who his boldness for Christ humbles his father.
I didn't have a voice. I couldn't say anything. But they spoke for me and prayed for me, and now I can do a bunch of stuff that the doctors or no one ever thought that I would ever be able to do. It's cool to know that God has a plan for me and that He has a plan for everyone on the earth.
I'm Alex Scott, and I'm a freshman at the University of Memphis. I'm a political science major, and I started Tigers for Life because sophomore year of high school, I became really passionate about protecting the unborn. It's definitely a God-given passion. I am really passionate about this amendment because we did tabling at the Delta Fair for it and just trying to get the word out there and stuff. And there's so much receptiveness, but then you go around the city and you see the no on one signs and you're like, oh, it's just kind of a knock in the heart because those people don't understand what this amendment's about. It's not about pro-life or pro-choice. It's more about protecting the women and protecting the unborn life. And so just the fact that my church personally is so passionate about this amendment also, and we have preached it from the pulpit, means so much to me and my family. Just to promote it with love and understand that we love you, therefore, and that's why we love life.